decision that Zuma is going to be proud of, because we're also very careful and put into consideration that we needed films that are of a certain level to also help with the festival credibility and all of that, to make sure that we have like good films to be represented or nominated for the awards that's going to happen tonight.
Wonderful. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I just want us to start off with Stephanie, because I believe that everybody is looking forward to today's evening, because that is where the final curtains will be pulled down or raised, I don't know whether up or down, of this event of the Zuma Film Festival that is holding. In the meantime, we are going to delve into the producers' round table, and I can tell you how delighted I am to be the moderator of this session, because just 2 days back, I celebrated my 45th year as a producer in this industry. My name is Abdul Karim Mohammed, and I graduated in radio, television, film production from Indiana State University in America, and then had my master's degree in mass communications from Bayero University. And from 1979, when I finished my youth service, to this day, I have not done anything but radio, television, and film. So it gives me great pleasure and honor to now say that I'm moderating this session that is about Producers Roundtable. I want to believe that that is why NFC feel that it can give me this responsibility this morning. And I hope I'm not going to disappoint them or you for being here. But we'll go around. You have seen the array of panelists that we have on the ground. I would like each person to kindly present himself in about a minute so that people will know who are here with us on this roundtable.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Paul Papel. I'm a film producer, director, editor, writer, and actor. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dimbo Atia. I'm an award-winning filmmaker. My production credits are Sons of the Caliphate, Wrath and Revenge, Halita, The Rishantes, Still Falling, and based here in Abuja. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jackie Jackson. I am the Film Commissioner for Jamaica. It is my first time on and in Nigeria. I'm really happy to be here, and I'm so grateful that I've been asked to be on this panel. Just to give a little background about myself, I've been in the industry for probably close to 20 years. Right out of college, I would have done nothing else but film, video, and television production. As the moderator just said, I felt that sort of sentiment. I went from, working at Jamaica Television Station, and then went right to New York, film, video, and television. I focused on films, and then I worked at, Comedy Central and a number of other production companies in the U.S., New York specifically. And then I decided, I wanted to go back home to give back. I started my own ideation company. I started a TV show. And then the University of the West Indies called and said, we'd love for you to come and help and lecture. And I said yes. And then eventually there was a job opening at the company that I work, Jamaica Promotions Corporation, and for film commissioner. And I applied, and I was like, maybe I'm going to be too young, maybe I'm not going to be the right fit. And they called and they said, you have the right credentials, you have the passion and the drive. And I said, if you're going to, which is interesting, I said, if you are going to appoint me as the film commissioner, please know that I will make it my point of duty to make Africa where I want to spread the message of collaboration. So again, I'm really happy to be here, and thanks to NFC for inviting me. And I really look forward to working with the producers that are here, all of the officials, the stakeholders, because I believe culture is the capital.
Okay. My name is, you call me Dr. Ahmed Sarari. I am accidental filmmaker. Accidental in the sense I went to medical school. I'm a trained epidemiologist and a medical microbiologist. And jump into where my passion is, that is filmmaking. I'm equally a media consultant. I produce quite a number of films. I'm very young in the industry, just about 26, 25, 25, 26 years in the industry. I produced quite a number of films. I was one of the beneficiaries of Zuma Film Festival, I think 2006. My film emerged as the best film in 2006 at Zuma Film Festival. And I got quite a number of awards. Now I run a TV station and I have a production outfit and a equipment rental outfit in Kano. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Chris Ogekalu. I am a producer, director, scriptwriter. I've been around for a while too. I've been producing for almost 3 decades. A lot of films to my credit, both in terms of producing and directing. I am a public relations and strategic communication expert, and I am currently the chairman of the Association of Movie Producers, FCT chapter. Thank you for coming. morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Ejezie Emeka Rolas. I'm the president of the Actors Guild of Nigeria. I'm an actor and a producer. Thank you.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let us appreciate one more time the panel of discussants that we have here. I'm sure you have seen the quality of the people that we are parading, and I am going to, on a startup note, as a startup person, going to call on one of the ancestors to just give us a brief history of what we are celebrating in terms of the film industry in this country. So, ancestor, maybe in just about a minute or two, give us that background. You called yourself an ancestor, sir. Yeah. So just a brief history of Nollywood.
Well, let me start by saying before Nollywood, or what we refer to as Nollywood, there were film activities in this country as far back as 1946, when the first film was shot in Jos by a foreign team called Calabar. After that, so much happened
to share this insight with you so that you can be able to uh, be at par with us once we start discussion. As far back as 2009, I served in the media and communication thematic area of Nigeria Vision 2020. It was at that time that the United Nations agency studied 99 countries and pronounced Nigeria as the number 3 producer of films in the world. And that, for me, contextualized the development that we have heard from that initial startup period to where we are going to be discussing today. And from that 2009, out of 29 thematic areas of Nigeria Vision 2020, not a single other one have taken Nigeria to top 20 by 2020. Only Nollywood, and today we are number 2. So you can imagine, I want you to appreciate the level of contribution of production when we are discussing this issue as producers. What does this say? It is telling us that an industry has indeed been established. And also it has rated the nation into being number 2 in the world presently. So on this note, I will want all our producers to now see what your job has been able to do to the country. And I will want a situation whereby us as producers can now say, this is what we can put to the national table for them to understand what we have done in terms of contributing to this. So, sir, you have mentioned yourself as a producer yourself. So, what do you think is the contribution of you, not as an individual, but as a group, as a producer, to the creative economy?
Thank you very much. It is very obvious that as we have different industries powering the nation, like the oil industry, we have so much concentration on that. Whenever there are challenges there, the whole nation feels it. I believe our industry is contributing immensely in terms of job creation for the teeming youth and every other person that needs to practice in the creative world. So we're doing so much. We are relevant to the society, and we are a money spinner for the country also. So I believe, so I look at myself as a person, as someone who is contributing to my country. I'm a very important person, adding value to my country by the work I do. So I would say it is very clear that this industry is playing a key role in projecting Nigeria positively outside the country. Is making a positive contribution to our GDP. Is making a positive contribution. This agriculture is supposed to give us more employment, but I think this is one industry where even the farmer comes in and can get an employment. So we are actually very important to the society, and we need the government to also consider us so much like that. Thank you.
I appreciate this. Pepel, your take on my earlier question?
Okay, as producers in Nollywood, I would say we're able to squeeze water out of a stone to stay hydrated. And that's something that is really very big because this is an industry that really, really has less backing, so to say. And almost everybody that is sitting on this stage has had to produce films from their pockets or kind of rally around friends and families to get funding to do what they need to do. A lot of times, and this is not indicting anybody, the formal sector in terms of the things that come to us as producers is lacking. When you look at from the banking sector, it's hard for you to walk into a bank and say, give me a loan to make a film, unless you have a big house sitting somewhere on one land that you can collect the collateral. In terms of government incentives, these things are there, but we need more. So it's amazing that we still have a film industry. we're doing the 14th edition of the Zuma Film Festival. It's the passion and the capacity that we're able to put every day to push forward that has made this industry what it is, with all the success that you've just mentioned. And just imagine where we are as filmmakers, with everything that we have to deal with as a society or as an economy or as a country. Imagine if we had half. I'm trying to be modest here. Just imagine what could happen if we got the kind of support that others have gotten in other climes and they've made it work. I promise you. You see that that's budget. So the best thing to do is find a way that the car will do and just park there, and we move forward. So I think that it is something to celebrate that so far we've come this far, but also we need to reflect on the fact that more is needed, and those of us who are sitting down here should be in the forefront of pushing to get to do more. Thank you very much.
I appreciate this abundantly. And here we are. I'm crossing over to Jamaica. And my personal interest on you being here is to share with us the opportunity you see if there were a Nigeria-Jamaica cooperation. What opportunity do you foresee crystallizing out of such an arrangement?
Thank you for that question. So when I was invited to the festival, I thought to myself, what a good opportunity to really showcase Jamaica. We are, and every time I say this, everybody's like, what? We're less than 3 million people in Jamaica. We're less than 3 million. So it means that when you hear the name Jamaica and everybody says, oh, we know Jamaica, we love the food and the Bob Marley and the Usain Bolts, it really means we're punching above our weights. That's what it means, because culturally, we're such a powerhouse. But the other thing is that I feel like we are Nigerians. And when you look back, from our ancestral pool, this is where we're from. So to me, it's too obvious that we have an opportunity to collaborate and to co-produce. You have the numbers. You have an opportunity to help us, and vice versa. When you think about where Jamaica is, we're near shore. We work very well and closely with, of course, the UK. But the amount of productions that come into Jamaica, even though we're so small, has really been able to upskill the crew on the ground. But we are now in a stage where we believe, and as the film commissioner now, my job is to help the creatives on the ground own their intellectual property. So we've too long been a service industry, and I think that is why I'm here. The opportunity I see is for us to collaborate with each other. I'm like pushing Black people to work with each other. The stories will tell themselves. And I really hope that's something that we can do. So with everyone here on the panel, I look forward to having, additional discussions to how we can co-produce. I had a conversation with the Entertainment Ministry yesterday, so we have a draft co-production treaty that we're looking at. So I hope in the future I can bring more Jamaicans, Nigerians to Jamaica so that we can produce stuff together. It's time. I can only envision a story being told about Jamaica and Nigeria. It's an easy write.
This is very critical because Nigeria already has an existing relationship with India, with South Africa, with France, and some others, and Canada, yes. So some others are still in the incubation period. And you, as producers, what I will call upon you is to appreciate where she's coming from, so that once we are keen into this kind of relationships, we know why we are there, so that we can be able to achieve the living spirit of whatever relationship we have with any country, including Jamaica, right? necessarily, I know that you have Kannywood TV, and I know that you are the immediate past president of Motion Pictures Practitioners Association of Nigeria. I would want to hear from you a perspective from somebody that has been involved at the top level of organizations of producers. What are the challenges that you see that are bedeviling the development of the industry from your perspective?
Thank you so much. What a good question. Actually, before going to the question, I would like to link it to what your friend Mr. Dimbo has said regarding the diversity. We need to appreciate the fact that the strength of this nation, Nigeria, lies in its diversity. The same strength applies to Nollywood. Nollywood is big, is second in the world in terms of content, not because of we know better, because of our diversity. We have everything we need. Nollywood consists of various woods that come together and make Nollywood what it is today. So actually, as the president of National Association, two times president, and as well as former president and former chairman of the Federation of Registered Nollywood Guild and Association, which I pass over to my colleague here beside me, Dr. Victor Okai. The challenges are quite enormous. But let me go back to Dimbo again because he says there was a little incentive. To me, there isn't any incentive or support in terms of infrastructure or resources I ever received personally or my association ever received from government to date. That is one. Secondly, not just the incentive, so much. We have done so much. People here and people point me because I think I'm probably the youngest. I'm just about 26 years in the industry here. So maybe I'm the youngest here in the industry. But we took this industry that contributes 2.1% of the national GDP. Imagine how big, how huge. And this is not from government, without support, without infrastructure. I'm coming back to what you say. Imagine if we get that support. Imagine if we get the infrastructure. Imagine if we have the right treaties with the various countries. Imagine if we have tax rebates internally, not even with people coming into the country. Imagine if we have tax rebate on the equipment we bring in. Imagine how far we can go. So actually, being an industry that gives the largest employment, I mean second to the agriculture, I think government need to do more in getting the essential infrastructure and providing the basic incentives required to, explore our talent and creativity. This one. With this, I think we can go beyond where we are today. Thank you.
Very interesting because for those of us that have been interacting with other filmmakers from other countries, particularly I would like to recall the experience of meeting the guys from South Africa. The South African Film and Video Foundation, you will not believe the level of support it gives to people that are operating as filmmakers in South Africa. And we do not have the committed funding to our developmental agencies to be able to carry that responsibility. And I think we as practitioners, we are not putting claim to these guys that are in charge of these institutions to respond to our needs and yearnings. That's why this gap is being identified. The president of Directors Guild of Nigeria, Dr. Victor Okai, I know that once you are going to make a film, then the interpretation of the script falls squarely on the director. So in what way can you encapsulate the role of the director in terms of production so that we can be able to appreciate the input of your own DGN into to the producers' engagements in the film making process.
Thank you very much. I think maybe because of the nature of the way Nollywood started, there are a few, whether to call them absurdities or abnormalities in the industry today. You might say not every director is an auteur, but basically a director is an interpreter. That's another name for a director. You know, it's his vision, which is why you would say a director's film. But because of the informal nature that we started here, and because it was a movement from people from television in the main, and you also can attest what I'm saying, because those who were people who studied film initially considered the early Nollywood as infra dig, like something not because of the kind of equipment that were used, and so they were latecomers to the party. And so if you're not there, if you're not at the party early, then you just take whatever is served you when you finally arrive. And so you find a situation where there's so much influence from producers, and to a very large extent it has affected, you know, sometimes even the quality of the productions, where unless you're a very strong director, and because of the economic power of the producers, not all who are properly trained producers. You know, it started from the market, from, you know, people who were distributors who later assumed the role of producers, outsiders who came in. So businessmen, basically. So it affected the way, you know, particularly early interpretation of our works. But things are beginning to change now. And I think for us to move to the next level, it is important that directors assert themselves, take true ownership of projects, and it's something we're beginning to do and insist on, which is why the level of professionalism is rising. At the Guild, for instance, it's not everyone that is allowed in. You have to have, you know, of course, how do I put it, screening. You know, there are screenings that people have to go through. And there is a gatekeeping process right now, fully aided by the National Film and Video Censors Board, where if you're not a member of the Directors Guild, for instance, a movie that does not have a member cannot be censored. So what that has done for us and for the industry is that you have to go through that needle's eye. And to go through that needle's eye, you have to be screened. To be screened means you have to be qualified. And so I can tell you that there's hope that things will get better. Thank you very much.
You know, if there is no structure within a system, then that system is bound to fail. So I'm happy that we are getting structured so that we can be able to succeed even more. Stephanie, I'm not going to go into the acting bit with you. You've watched the films that have been entered for the competition at Zuma. So coming through these films, what is your assessment of the level of production so far that you have seen?
Of course, to say the production so far has improved. There's been, we producers and directors, filmmakers have access to new technology, new equipment that are cheaper and accessible with this whole digital age that has aided with a lot of people also thinking they're all filmmakers. But that has also increased the level of the quality of the production that are coming out, and people having access to the internet and sharing knowledge, so, and seeing what other countries are doing. So there's been a lot of exchange going on. So for the films that we've seen, yes, we could see the intentionality of the filmmaker, especially maybe how, in terms of their storytelling, in terms of their camera work, considering production design and a whole lot of that. So you could see that they were very focused and very intentional with the kind of story they're telling and how they want to tell it. So we were actually quite impressed with a lot. We were confused on which one to go, but I'm happy that we had great selection this year, films that we're excited to see. And so hopefully you're going to see something great. But I also want to add in terms of Nigeria production, there's something you mentioned. You didn't push it further, but I want to help you push it further. You know, sometimes we come to this forum and we talk and we talk. And I don't know why we feel that we're helpless. Because we're not taking our position and our stand and making demands. We're waiting for them. Nigeria is not a place where they will give you chance. We as filmmakers, producers, we need to articulate what and the vision that we have for this industry and how we want to achieve them. What are the things that we need government to do? What are the lobby groups that we need to set up to actually pressure them to answer us? How do we get our work protected? So we're like, every time we're like doing very individual, like somebody, come together, be that force, and demand what we need for the industry. I think that's the stage we need right now. To actually not talking by the side, government, you're not doing anything. We need to make the government work for us because they are supposed to be working for us. So I think we need to find a different mindset, put on a different cap, and actually articulate how we want to benefit as this industry, because we put in a lot. You know, there's no benefit, there's no social benefits for anybody, there's no pension you're getting. You're putting work and people are dying, people are having health issues, but there's no guarantee. So we should be able to articulate what we want for the industry so that we are happy as filmmakers to be able to create. I think that's one thing that we all need to focus on doing right now. Thank you.
I agree with you absolutely because there is no right that is given without being requested for, right? I'm jumping you, Makama. I'm going over to this young man that says he's not in your class because you're an ancestor. But my martaba is fully branded, and what I will want you to share with us is the fact that you have said to me personally that the rigor of being chosen to represent Nigeria at the Oscars was more rigorous than even making the film. So I would want you to share this experience with everybody so that let's put our hearts together. Once we are aspiring to go for Oscars or any of the film festival awards, it's a damn hard work. Your response?
Thank you, sir. Maybe it's some kind of setup because the chair of the NOSC is here. But again, one thing for sure is that after this Oscars run, I will be a better filmmaker. Because I didn't see the Oscars from where it was until I was deep in it. There was a time anytime I see Madam Stephanie's chat or call, my mind skips, as if my blood pressure was going up, because she was running against time and we needed to just get through. It was challenging. It's still challenging. Challenging because at different times I had to upload almost 62 gig, almost I think like 6 times. 62 gig export time was about 12 hours, uploading about 7 to 8 hours. And the whole idea is that the quality control for the Oscars will just tell you that this is the Oscars. There is nowhere you'll find that kind of quality control where subtitling would delay by a minute and you have to re-export. So I've learned better, especially because I also want to share experiences with people who want to go to the Oscars. There was a time I almost said to Madam Stephanie, I just didn't say it, I said, I don't do again. Yeah, so, but if she was committed, why wouldn't I be committed? And I don't even envy the work of the NOSC. I don't think it's one responsibility I can take. For them to look at all these films, to tick all the boxes, and then to have a film competing as at this moment with 87 films in IFF categories. And when you look at some of these films, very dangerous films. So I don't envy their work,
but I know that I'll be a better filmmaker. By the next project I'm taking, by the grace of God, from February, March, April, I am going in with the Oscars in mind. And not necessarily because I want to make an Oscars cut, but I want to make a better international film. A film that would compete with any other in the world. So that's the mindset. My mind has altered as a filmmaker, and my life will not remain the same. And then the rigors of having to get over 9,800 judges, about 8,000 of them in IFF category to look at your film, to create visibility for the film, is also another thing altogether. And then you are looking at hundreds of thousands of dollars in budget to be able to get. Then you now have an industry that is somehow divided. Like Madam Stephanie is trying to say, I think we are too divided and too individualistic to drive our message home. And I am in the center now because I am like a bat in this race. I am neither a dog or a bird because Kannywood hasn't accepted me fully. For whatever reason, Nollywood hasn't accepted me fully. So I'm in the middle. I'm in like in no wood. And then being an underdog also didn't help matters because the question that keep popping is, who the hell is this guy? Where is he coming from? Yeah, so bottom line, my life has just tumbled upside down. I've not had, since the announcement, I've not had 1 day of break of any kind. It's been from one insanity to another. And trust me, sir, I rest my case.
Well, guys, don't be discouraged, rather be encouraged. Why? Because whatever one does in life, you need to perfect it. And the more you do what you are doing, the better you get. So at least we can take away from you that you have gotten better and your next project is even going to be better. Doctor, you are a producer yourself. So where would you place the scheme of being a producer in Nigeria?
Thank you very much for that question. I told myself that if you had asked me a different question from this, I would have begged your pardon to still try to address this particular question. So we have talked about, we have given a background to the formation of Nollywood, like my fellow panelists here did justice to. And you could see that from day one, we have been powered by ourselves. So I am a realist. The truth is that Nigerians that we are self-reliant people. We have pushed Nollywood from back in the days till today, and we are still pushing. From the producer's point of view, I would say that while we are waiting for government to come and support us and give us all that we need, maybe through legislation or whatever, we need to look at the immediate. And what is it that is that is the key to this immediate? It's being able to continue to put producers, afloat. They should remain afloat. Like Dimbo rightly said, most of us here, we have produced movies from our pockets. And I want to tell you the truth that a lot of producers have gone home. They don't even come out again. They have gone to their villages. Today in Abuja, I go to places, and when I introduce myself as a film producer, they say, these cheats. They call us cheats. They say we'll come, collect money, and say we are producing a movie and we'll never return the money because of losses and all that. So I am very happy, particularly with this edition of the Zuma Film Festival, because one of us, a co-practitioner, is at the helm of affairs in the person of Dr. Alinu. I am very, very happy. And I want to use this opportunity talk to him. I don't know. I don't have details of what the mandate of the NFC is completely. But I think as a corporation of government agency saddled with the responsibility of taking care of Nigerian movies or filmmaking in Nigeria, we can do something. We need alternative distribution channels. That way, producers will not go back to their villages. Thank you.
When they go back to their villages, I assure you they will come back. You know why? Because this rural-urban drift is a phenomenon that will not go away. You know, there are brighter lights in the city, water pipe in the cities, and we are looking forward to enjoying them, right? But let's do the needful where it matters. Dr. Rollers is the president of Actors Guild of Nigeria. So there is no uniform question. President, I want to hear from you as an actor. What are the revenue streams available for your members to key into as film actors?
Thank you very much. Like I wanted to really take that question from where we're coming. Revenue stream for actors when the industry is not going where it should be is a big issue. But I want to bring it back once again. I think taking it from Stephanie, we are still basking in the euphoria that Nollywood is this, Nollywood is that. Everybody seated here had this chance to be here just because it's Zuma Film Festival. Once we leave here now, everybody jumps to location. For us to move Nollywood forward, we need to search ourselves, get critical thinkers, get strategists, get lobbyists. They will sit down and plan what we want for the industry. If we put it together in a paper, we begin to pursue it. In my position as president of the guild, I've been interacted with unions. I found out that Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, they come to Abuja to talk about manufacturers. Film people are the only people in Nigeria whom you invite to a place, they want you to cater for them. And you are talking about their industry. All the monies we have made over the years, we cannot spend to put the industry better. It is something we need to look inwards. All of this that we are this, we are that. The truth is this, 30 years ago maybe, we had these stories, it hadn't become Nollywood, so to speak. Then there was no industry. Now we have a vibrant industry. We need to go and bring out all those laws that were set some 50 years ago. They were setting those laws hoping that a film industry will emerge. Now the film industry has emerged. We, the film industry, should now sit down and say, okay, let us look at these laws. What is involved in this film policy? How do we change it? Actors, producers, directors, creative designers, give us two people from your organizations. And we keep meeting every fortnight to know how we will direct the industry. When we put all these things together, we'll have something to tell the government. Government will not do anything for you because they are not filmmakers. The least they know about Film Village is thatched houses. I've met many government functionaries. When I mention Film Village, they say, yeah, I understand what you mean. We'll just do some raffia houses and like that. And I'll say, eh? You talk about film studios, they still have that mentality. None of them has even gone there. If we continue like this, we will leave only individuals to direct us. Somebody will just come. An industry where we are here doing Zuma Film Festival now, the 14th edition. Different sets of people are in different bushes in Nigeria filming, and we don't know who they are. How can an industry grow like that? We must set standards. We have different foreign people who do not have basic documents to live in our country, live here for 4 years, become stars in our country, become big producers in our country. You can't even film in the neighboring African country if you don't have the required certification. It is we in the industry that should certify this, not government. Government will be giving you rhetorics, telling you how it is in Indiana, how it is in this. This is Nigeria. And that is why when big companies come, they see that you are not together. They work with you and they leave. All of this we're doing, if we don't come together, we will continue like this. And I appeal, we are very good in organizing film festivals. Some are in 20th editions. If you go there, the same thing, the same story. At the end of the day, you do your evaluation, you just have 3% of success. Is it good? Now we finish Zuma Film Festival, we come back next year to sit like this again and begin to talk. We are good in forming associations. Association of this, association of that, this one, Nollywood this, that. And we now carry the enlightenment mentality and feel so entitled. That's not how an industry should grow. Let us come together and see the guilds that we're going to chase away from the ecosystem and know the ones that will remain. There are ones formed under cultural level, ones formed under tribal level. Let us look at the professionalism of the system and say, this is the industry. Then if you're going to do a film treaty with another country, when you come back, you have an industry to savour it. But when you go and get this film treaty and come back, bet you me, individuals will only reap from it. And when you release funds from government, say, okay, we're giving the industry 7 billion naira. Only the rich can access it. Why? Because they have the money, they have what they keep as collateral. The ones who are doing the film with the skill, they don't have the money to access such things. Thank you.
Mr. President, I share the passion with which you speak, and I want to assure you that what you have put across as a roadmap, if you like, is what should be done. That is coming together to ensure that we are unified and we are forceful enough so that our voices can be heard. But let it be heard in unison, that everybody is being carried along. Yes, sir.
Okay, so because we are actually on a government platform right now, let's talk to government. You see, the biggest misconception that government has about this support that we're talking about, they think it's give us money. That is not what we're talking about. We're talking about creating enabling environment. I give you an example. I dare anybody to challenge me. There is nothing technically that we use in the film industry that's produced in this country. Technically, every equipment that you're seeing here were imported. They will charge you tax, income duties. These things we pay on. I know for a fact, I was doing a TV show, almost 400 episodes. I ordered about 10 terabytes of hard drives, and I paid through my nose to clear them. Custom said, no, you are going to retail these things. There is no way you are using it for your own personal project. And we paid through our nose. What I'm saying is that imagine if government goes to, I don't know where Black Magic is based, and say to Black Magic, come to Nigeria. All this equipment that you're producing, a lot of our film industry people use them. Come and set up a Black Magic store in Lagos or in Abuja. We will give you tax incentives so that when you're bringing this equipment, young people or filmmakers can equally purchase this equipment at the rate in which their mates are purchasing in America or in China. And then it will help us save money from all of these things. The consumables that we use in making film, we don't produce them here. I'm talking about hard drives and flashes. We don't produce them here. So government should provide the enabling environment for these things to work, even if they're not going to give us individuals. Say, okay, Japan, he goes to China to bring this equipment. Cut some tax slacks for him, so that when he comes, he's not selling one battery for us at 75,000 naira. These are the issues. Government should also understand also that, okay, you know what? We can do bond backing for banks. Okay, we're going to Gidigba stand here and say, okay, those who are genuinely doing this thing, go to banks and get this money. We will back it. It's the trust issue that has caused this problem now. Because let's be honest, some of us, the producers, have not helped matters. We marry and we buy cars and we build houses with the money. That's another problem. But honestly, there are also genuine filmmakers who want to do amazing work and put us out there and do better work. So we are talking about policies and things that would drive us, not necessarily. If you give us the money, we will take. Oh, please don't get me wrong. Don't go and quote me that I said. Another thing I wanted to mention, sorry, quickly. Yesterday, an issue came up with this Netflix matter. I have not had the federal government's conversation on this issue. If Netflix was having issue with Nigerian producers, where is the government in this conversation? Did they bring them to the table to say, oh, we hear that you people are trying to pull out funding? Why? Because our people need this your funding. Is this a problem? Okay, we'll give you the federal backing and the guarantee to be able to do what you're doing so that filmmakers can get this. I have not heard the federal government in any of these statements concerning this. We're just speculating things. Bottom line, government support is we need policies, we need incentives on ground that can help us work as filmmakers. Give us the money also, we'll take it. Thank you very much.
I'm very happy that the Managing Director of Nigerian Film Corporation is here, and I think there are a lot of takeaways for you And these takeaways are demands from the developmental agency of film in Nigeria, right? Okay, you will respond, definitely. But where I'm heading to specifically is before I take questions and answers from the floor, there is a synergy that is very critical that I think we should discuss it here. Our ancestor here has made has made a very good transition from Kannywood to Nollywood. And even yesterday he was telling me I'm just coming from location. And I think the woods that we have around, this synergy is very critical for Nigeria. How do we go and build such synergy so that we can have an everlasting synergy that will be able to streamline the woods that we have in Nigeria?
Thank you very much. Let me start by saying, before we bother ourselves about which wood is where, let me lend my voice to the fact that Nigeria may be large, big. Nigeria may be, many cultures and, differences. But what we have that has made us the second largest producer of content is truly Nigerian. The concerns that we all are voicing with regards to this industry is the same. It's the same everywhere. The last time the federal government of Nigeria tried to do anything, I want us to look at MOPICON, Motion Picture Practitioners Council of Nigeria. The same federal government called, what Emeka Rollo said, brought two people from different parts of the country, and a document was articulated to address these issues that we're talking about a long time ago. I was part of that document. In that document, there is entry point and exit point for you in this industry. In that document, there are definitions of who should be a filmmaker, what should be filmmaking, and so on in this country. Where is that document? Where is it today? Why are we still, I'm talking about more than 10 years ago, why are we still repeating ourselves when we have gone far beyond where we are? I think it is very important. If we have MOPICON, there will be no Kannywood or Nollywood. Because who the filmmaker is in Nigeria is clearly written, is clearly articulated in that document. Who should be a filmmaker is clearly, articulated. So there's no need for us to worry about, I make films in Hausa, or you make, film has no language. Film has no language. And it doesn't matter. We watch films in the past. We enjoy those films from places where we've not been to. Our films today, Nigerian films, are being appreciated in our local languages as Nigerian films. So I call on government. While, it is important for you to support the industry, there are low-hanging fruits. Some of these things are already there. They're in place. Get them. And, for our brand new MD, he has everything, that would make his position as the MD of Nigerian Film Corporation, solid. He has everything that will make the history of him being here representing us, to be written in gold. All he needs to do is assemble these people. Assemble these people, and we will guide him into getting it right. Thank you very much.
Okay, so let me just put small context to add to the discussion. I was privileged to be in the committee set up by the federal government post-COVID. MD Ali Nuhi was also in that committee. And we found something very interesting. What we found out was that the creative industry, IT and broadcasting, contributed more than oil and gas and mining combined. Yes, the record was that the oil and gas and mining in the year under review did only 8.9% to GDP. But the creative industry, IT, and broadcasting did 12.3%, where even finance, as big as finance and insurance did just 3%. The only one that is even close to the creative industry apart from agriculture was manufacturing, which made like 9.2%. And then real estate, as big as it is, it was just 6.4%. So that is the size of the industry. But engaging government, every time we see it, we talk, and all you hear is government this, government that, government. If you go back to where even the last administration started, there were over 22.9 billion to be accessed in the industry. Who accessed it? Like the president said, is the rich in the industry that will continue to access these fundings. If you go into the IDIs, the $618 million, it is still those who are collaterable that will access it. Because intellectual property isn't seen as a collateral or as an asset. Until then, I think we are too wooded to succeed. Too many woods.
All right. What one must give to the present administration, two things for me. Number one, when Nollywood made it to number 3 top nation, when it made it to number 3 in 2009, right? No, it started with 3. It started with 3. Nobody can argue this because I'm giving you bona fide record, right? When we made it to number 3 at that time, the federal government of that time graciously took the position of the developmental agency and gave it to somebody in with PhD in building. That to me is the greatest disservice that was done to the film industry. And then right after that, the person that was given that seat was a qualified medical doctor. That didn't make sense to me at all. So this is the very first time that we have somebody that we can call of our own that has been given this position. So this is one thing that we must give this government. The second thing that we must give to this government is the creation of the creative economy component to a ministry. That is very critical because that is where we truly belong, right? But I want to assure all of you that are here, we cannot cash in on these benefits without the demands that we are putting today. And it does not mean that, as some of you have observed, that it should begin and end here. No. Pressure points must continue. And on that level, I want the managing director of Nigerian Film Corporation, Dr. Alinihu, to come forward because he has already indicated that he wants to respond to some of the issues that have been raised. No. Let him respond.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, my esteemed colleagues, everyone present, good morning. Sorry for coming late. I was engaged somewhere and I was slightly delayed. I came in halfway and met this interesting panel going on. So for some of the questions raised and issues of concern, I think I have something to say. Prince Daniel Aboki, I have to start by saying that we're very proud of you, and I want to correct an impression. Kannywood and Nollywood all love you. We can see you on Filmmake, all the things you've been doing, and there's a certain WhatsApp group too from the north that I see you operating there, and people have been giving you all the support, even though with your film being nominated, the hype and support should be more than what it is now, because that's what the movie requires. So we all love you. We have your back. Don't worry. Mr. Emeka Rolas, the AGN president. You talked about having like a stakeholder meeting. Of course, we want to hold a stakeholder meeting. Dr. Shoaibu and I have had a session. We discussed, I was in his office. We asked our management team to come together and put up a budget where we can be able to invite the heads of guilds and associations and bring the minister on board. Then we have a session where people would, first of all, before people say what their problems are, we're going to address some of these things people are talking about, because we've been working tooth and nail since we came into office to see that these things are fixed, which some of these things I'll mention. So it's just that we cannot invite you people to a table and we don't feed you. So we need a concrete information to pass across. Okay, for instance, a couple of days ago, our esteemed colleague, Kule Afalayan, made a statement and it's gone viral. It's creating ripples, you know. There's a whole lot of misconception about that, because I had conversations with the Netflix people earlier this year, that's in March, and I had to go back to them when I learned about this statement and the negative impression it's creating. And there are some policies and some things you cannot talk about until the presidency approves of it. Because you're representing the government. If you go out of your way to say things that are not approved, your job is on the line. You need to be very careful. But I'll speak about some of these things. Mr. Dimbo Atia, we had a meeting with some of you, the stakeholders from Abuja, a couple of months ago, and I think you raised some issues. Some of these your issues, you talked about them again now. Some of these things have been addressed. For instance, Baba Agba, who happens to be the SA to the president on film and music under the minister, was involved in a committee that is centered around policy, you know, adjustment and changes. And part of what he took on board, which the presidency is about to approve because they've accepted it and they're about to approve, is that IP is going to be your collateral from now onwards. Yes, IP is going to be your collateral. For instance, the loan from Providence Bank, none of them had to submit any land papers or property as their collateral. Their IP is their collateral. We're already beginning to do that under the ground, but we can't announce it until the presidency does. And that's why we're being careful. Secondly, you talked about equipment. Sometimes you buy equipment and you know, the duty you have to pay is so much, and when somebody looks at it from the point of view of supporting the economy and empowerment, of course this sector has been doing a lot for the youth. So definitely the industry should be considered. And yes, there's another policy on that. There's going to be a waiver on duty if you're putting up a structure like a studio or a film village and you have to import some of the equipment you need. There's going to be a duty waiver on that. And even the equipment you're using to shoot, there'll be a waiver on that. That's another thing that is coming on board. Then, as somebody said, we're signing treaties. Yes, we're signing treaties. We just have to do that. But then, I've been to a couple of film festivals this year. I was at the Berlinale, I was at Cannes. What we realize is that most of these countries that usually go to other countries to shoot, they ask you, what are the incentives if we were to come to your country? Because we're not just coming to your country, you know, employ people, give them job, you know, enrich your economy, and there's nothing we stand to gain from that. So there's tax credits, 20% tax credits. That is what our government is approving. So we're working on all that to see that we have a very conducive environment for filmmakers to do their thing. And talking about the Oscars, I happen to be a member of the selection committee from Nigeria, and my colleague here, Stephanie, that's the chairperson, has really been doing a lot for our country in that angle. Why I say so is because she takes her time, you know. time that she should be doing other things. But because she loves her country, she loves the industry, she wants to see that it progresses, she calls everybody. She goes through a lot of trouble to put us all together. In fact, having the dates for selection was a Herculean task for her, but she had to do it. Then most of us that came on board, too, had to cooperate because we know we have to do this for the industry. But you see, there are a couple of things that the filmmakers themselves miss. What are those things? You need to know what is expected of you as someone who wants to have their film as an entry in the Oscars. Films on other platforms, and they go like, how come? Why don't we have that on our catalog? So these are some of their concerns, and that is why they're trying to adjust. So please, I hope this answers this question about Netflix, and people understand that information that is going around is not really true. Thank you, everyone. It's for people coming to the country, because of what they're bringing into the country. For co-production, yes. So if you're bringing a partner, you should do. Yes. Yes, that's it. And I forgot to tell you something. Please give Stephanie a round of applause, because she's trying to put us on the platform of Tribeca Film Festival, and our Honorable Minister, Barrister Hanetu Musawa, is excited about it. So that's another plus to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have passed our time, and what I'm going to do is, there is power in this microphone. There is power in this. Don't debase my power. We have already made a commitment to him that we are encroaching into the next session, and I have told him we are not going to hand over this until we ask 3 people. If you have questions, please, we are only taking 3 questions. So, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2. Only 2? Okay, 1, 2. Oh, right at the back there, Zakire, Gamek. Zakire.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Oluwafemi Wajomo. I'm an actor, a producer, and I would like to thank the Nigerian government for this great opportunity. And I must talk to my colleagues. We've been on this project for the past 5 days, and I guess most of us are just coming on the last day. Most of the things that have been discussed from day one, from treaty to patent rights to tax, we can see the Jamaican government have actually sent vice president of export, and some of us haven't been here at all. A lot has been said here in this room. I would tell us, we the practitioners, we need to get serious with ourselves. The government is doing a lot, and I will tell you, you may be wondering who is talking. My name is Oluwafemi Wajomo. I'm an art director. I remember when AY came to Port Harcourt, and I was privileged. Yes, sir, thank you. Thank you. So my question is this, sir. I don't think we need a confab at this moment. The government, we've been talking. So the government has been saying the enabling environment that we've been talking about. And from what we've been discussing for the past 5 days, we've been discussing enabling environment. We have been discussing enabling laws. So at this point, we the practitioners, like I'm an actor, and I will tell you that we the actors are the ones suffering. You know why? Because our producers are not working. And we want to tell them to get serious at this point. Before you produce, have you written to Dangote? Dangote needs to hear you if you've got content. Dantata is there. Noodles, they are there. You just sit in your comfort zone with your 5,000 naira and discuss that you want to have a movie. Then you're not talking to the relevant
people that you're supposed to talk to. Then you're begging the actors to come act for free. Then when they don't come, you're looking for their loyalty. And when they don't come, you stop using them. You see, my leader, it's a great plus for us as filmmakers to have you at this moment. No matter how difficult it is to discuss these problems, these are your colleagues. We are going to lock ourselves in the room and we will discuss it. But I tell you that you need to force some of them to come out. The confab they did some years ago, I wrote and I said to Lai Mohammed when he's information minister, and I said, sorry sir, just a moment, okay, my question is this. Are we really ready as filmmakers to move Nigeria to the next level? As of 6 years ago, we were netting $8.6 billion. And there's a prediction that Nigeria is going to be among the world economic power by the year 2000.
Yeah.
Tim, let's please.
All right, before the MD may wish to respond, please.
Okay, please, a quick one. Okay, you just talked about the producers. Yes, and I am also an actor like you, interestingly, and this is one of the problems that I've been hearing. I've not really experienced it, but I've heard a lot of people complaining severally. Now, part of what we intend to do in the stakeholder engagement that we're having with the heads of guilds and associations is for them to come up with a document, the do's and don'ts, the rules of engagement before you contract any practitioner, not just actors, all the crew members and what have you. We want them to do that on their own. We don't want to do it for them. Under the Mobicon bill, I understand all these things are there. But you see, before the Mobicon bill is approved, I think this needs to be done immediately. That's what we're trying to do. So we're going to address your problem. Now, talking about individual filmmakers seeking funding from whatever organization, that's an individual thing. It's not for you to tell them. They should be able to do that. I got a grant from, as a producer, I got a grant from the US Embassy. I shot a film, Banabokwe, years ago. That's my effort. So people should do that individually. And for actors that go to act for somebody free of charge, it's left them. No one is forcing you. You went to do that yourself. So please do not blame these people that have been, thriving hard throughout these years to bring the industry to where it is. Thank you very much. I hope this answers your question.
Okay, over to you, please. The one in black.
Hi, good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mohammed Aduku Yusuf. I'm an aspiring producer director. My question is to Dr. Ali Nuhu and the Nigerian Guild of Actor president here. As a young creative mind that wants to go into not acting, the producing to directing aspect, how do we go into, because learning professionally, I've been to film schools in Abuja, is quite high. Is there anything the government is giving, like a scholarship or something for people that want to go into producing, directing, not acting? And for the Nigerian Guild of Actors, he said something like you won't censor your film except you're a registered member or you have a standard. How do you become a registered? Because I didn't read theater art in school. A whole lot of filmmakers didn't go through this theater arts process. We came after school, so want to go into that. That's my question.
Okay, let me answer this quickly. First of all, I'm an actor, and I'll answer that. When I came in as an actor, I joined NANTAP, I can't forget, in the year 1994. But before joining NANTAP, I became an actor through NTA Jos. Uncle Sani Wazu was there when I faced the camera the first time in my life. So after joining, I asked questions, and they said, okay, join an association. So I joined NANTAP. Look at Honorable there, Chinedu. I was an extra in his film. I didn't have any speaking role. I was just there, and I did welfare on his set. Emeka Rolands knows me right from the days of Winnie's, most of them here, you know. So you just have to have that starting point. Get registered with AGN or whichever calling of your field that has an association. Get registered to it. That's one. Secondly, it's from there you can operate and have this network with people. And it will help because I can remember I started building my network in Jos. Eventually, when I went to serve in Ibadan, I usually go to Lagos, go to Winnie's, and that network worked for me. When Izu wanted to shoot Sitanda, he gave me a break. I met Izu in Jos, but I was in Kannywood. So you need to do that. That's one. Secondly, talking about scholarship, yes, to an extent, you can seek for scholarships, probably online. You see them. And for the NFI, I know there's a scholarship that Netflix usually gives out. About 21 students are presently enjoying that scholarship. But they have their process. NFC is not putting you through the process. I think there's a portal. You apply. If you're qualified for it, they give it to you. I hope this answers it. Thank you.
My name is Gloria, and I would like to ask this question. How do we get rid of gatekeepers in the industry in relationship to distribution of our films? Because sometimes when you're asking for a distribution deal, looking for an agent, they could ask for 70% of your proceeds. Thank you.
Okay, of course, gatekeepers, there will be gatekeepers all the time because you need, what do you call it, these middlemen. Yeah, filters. Yeah, okay. They will certainly be there. But it depends on who the individual is or what organization it is. If they're really, truly professional, I'm sure what you are afraid of will not happen. They won't take 70% of your proceeds. And this is one of the reasons why Netflix is doing what it is doing. And you think they've pulled out from Nigeria. No. They're trying to create an avenue where they can, access filmmakers on their own. That's what they're trying to do. So please, don't relent. Continue producing films.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry, I've been waiting. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bright Wanda Obasi. I'm a film producer. The question I want to ask is with respect to, I don't know exactly who to direct the question, but whoever can answer the question, it will help. Personally, I believe a time like this where whatever came up 2 days ago with respect to Netflix is an eye-opener. It's not a threat. It's just the fact that we're being reactive as a nation. When we get to that point, everybody start asking, and everybody, if Netflix is doing business and people, by reason of economy, are not able to afford maybe $4, we don't get sentimental. We don't need to beg them to say, stay. If the business is not working for them, it's not working. Ours is to try to say, how do we make this work so that it works for the people who are investing in the country? So for me, I'm happy that most of the producers right now are even actors. A lot of actors are being producers today, so we're producers now. We're producing. My concern is, how do we really make our distribution indigenous? Before Netflix came, before Amazon, Nollywood thrived. It was because we created value. The world saw it and came to that value. I know we still have breathtaking, amazing filmmakers. I don't believe, even with the gatekeepers are everywhere in the world. Let that person show me a breathtaking film you've made and Netflix say no to it. It doesn't exist. That's not true. Netflix is looking for you. They are looking for good films. So let's remove the mind of they choose. Those things will always happen. But if you have a breathtaking film and we have that film, I know they will still have that film. But it's important, the distribution of our films globally. We did it before, even with VCDs, with DVDs. Now there's a transition in technology. What's the structure to still help us sail the way we sailed before that took Nollywood out? That's what my question is.
Okay. Thank you for this question, and I think this duty lies on us as a film developmental agency. Okay, in this respect, the Ministry of Arts, Culture, Tourism, and Creative Economy just we haven't received the funds yet, but Afrexim said they are donating, is it $200 million for the creative industry. And part of what we intend to do under the ministry in conjunction with NFC is that we're building community cinemas across the country. Under the BOI, Bank of Industries, IDI's partnership, we're also targeting to do that. The NFC has put forward a proposal that we've sent to FEC. We want the federal government to build a cinema in each of the local governments across Nigeria. That's the 774 local governments in Nigeria. This will go a long way in addressing some of these challenges, if approved. Now, aside that, when talks with some OTT platforms like Niger Play, because we feel there's a need for us to have our indigenous OTT platforms. We can't just be relying on people that come from the abroad, because at a point in time, they can decide to change their policy, they can decide to quit. There's nothing we can do about it. It's up to them. So these are some of the things we're doing. And if any of the esteemed filmmakers here has an idea that they could suggest, we're open to it. Thank you.
Okay. My name is John Mark Imhengayo. And my question is just brief. I'm a filmmaker. For some of us are filmmakers, we have looked forward for an opportunity where we can have our stories out. And apart from having our stories out, we have seen the problem that is in the industry. And at our own level, we're able to come up with a solution that we think would help us. Like, let's say for me, for example, now personally, I know that this thing is a problem. It will affect me as a filmmaker, and I want to get there. And maybe I come up with an idea to get rid of that problem so that I can be a filmmaker freely. So the question I want to ask is, how do we bring solutions forward? Like, where do we get to? Who do we meet so that we can see how our own ideas or our own solution will be looked into and then put into work so that we can also do what we love doing properly?
Well, distinguished panelists, what I will want us to do is we take a view of the questions that have been thrown in, even though the MD has attempted to answer some of them. So we start from here.
Because he made something very important. He said, if you have an idea, because we're looking for young people to come up with innovative ideas, where will he take his ideas to? Because he might not have the connection. It might not be me that might know Alini who. Where can you tell this young man where to channel? Is it through the games? Is it through NFC info.nfc something? So I think it's good to also open that, because he might be shocked.
Actually, his question has been answered by Alinu.
No,
he gave history of how he started and how he developed the context.
I'm talking about the guy saying that when he has innovative ideas of how to move industry.
He has to belong to an association. So if your idea, that is where you start, it means that you need a producers guild to. Yeah, that's the answer for him. Sure you get. You need to belong to the industry before you can be able to. Want it to be sustained. But if it is government to build it, I honestly, totally disagree with any civil servant that will come and tell me that he will develop it because he has interest for it to prosper. I would not agree with that. So, totally, I disagree with that.
For me, this MD, the MD, I have an idea on what you want to do about the 774 local governments, but not to build structures for that purpose. And I will not say it here, I will bring it to you, and I think it will work.
Then I think we're running up, and there are a couple of things said here. For me, I think I'm one of these Nollywood kind of people that when you want to do things by yourself, you just do it. When you want to team up with people, it becomes difficult. And my president of Actors Guild said something, and I want to agree that we should find people that will have time and who are more of academicians to come up and represent the guilds so that we can, because government must be talking to somebody. Government will not just talk to everybody generally. So if you have a body that can mold together that represent us and talk to government, I think it can be easier, and they can hold those meetings with the agencies, and they can speak for us. Because he's right, as we're talking now, some people would value going to set to shoot at their film quickly than to come and stay here. To be honest with you, it's not easy. So if we have people nominated from the guilds that can come together, I think that can help us have a voice to talk to government. That's my take. Thank you.
We go in that line. So you want to have final word?
I think this discussion is very, very important. I think stakeholders always have burning ideas, and everyone is, I think this is as a result of how well you guys are doing, and of course you guys can do much better, but moving forward, I think collaboration is key, and having the opportunities to talk with the MD who, listen, I applaud him for taking the position, and this is a lot of work that will need to be done in the next couple of years. But I think these conversations are very important to move the needle forward, and not just once. But my suggestion is that there needs to be like, a monthly meeting talking about these ideas with all the guilds and the boards to say, how do we push forward, right? Because there's some segments here that needs to, pull together. There are too many silos. So we need to pull those ideas together, and I'm here to watch, support, and to help work together with you all. All right, thank you so much for having me.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Mine now is everybody has been talking to government, but I would like to talk to ourselves, to talk to filmmakers. In the letter given to me to attend this panel, there is a need to talk of co-production, on co-production. I want to ask us, how many of us here from different parts of Nigeria, even once, come together and co-produce a film? We have been thinking of co-production with other countries, but internally, we do not collaborate and co-produce. I have a story that has to do with Lagos, or with Benin, or with Benue. I don't live there. I don't reside there. I know that filmmakers there. Why don't I collaborate with those people and produce that film? How many people from South have stories that have things to do with North? They only write their own stories. They come and bring their people to act as Northerners, to produce it. Why can't we inculcate the habit of collaboration among ourselves? Without collabo, we cannot move the industry even an inch. The solution to our problem, the solution to Nollywood, is collaboration, collaboration, and collaboration. With a young man who had just asked of where to go, I think last year at Kaduna Film Festival, somebody came with such a question. They have ideas, they have script, they come to people like us here, they go to big companies, we don't accept their ideas. When you have an idea which is brilliant, please accompany your idea with a way to get return on investment. If I put my money in your idea, how do I get my money back? Also, don't forget to attach your proposal with a return on investment. Thank you.
And that's what makes the world go round.
Thank you very much. This has presented a great opportunity for us to be able to speak. Pearl, you were talking about the issue of having a voice. At our own level, the industry is organizing itself now and coming under an umbrella known as the Federation. I'm the current chair. And under that umbrella, what we've done is all the presidents, various guilds are represented there. So, and the reason is that there we can bring all our problems together. And if anyone wants to talk to the industry, you don't have to talk to, somebody mentioned the issue of silos, was it you? So the issue of dealing with people in silos is no longer there. You can talk to one body and we will also speak as one voice. So that's something that we've been able to do from within. Then to the MD, whose attention I want to draw, sir, MD, please, I just want to appeal. If you can create an opportunity for immigrations, customs, the police, and some other agencies that affect our work, I feel they should have been here, but if there's a meeting point where we can be meeting so that they understand us and our peculiar challenge. Please don't distract the MD. Please, I need this full on. Okay, it's taking notes. So where they can understand us, even if it means coming to act with us so that they can see what our problems are, so that they can understand us. And when we say we are bringing in equipment, they don't say you're going to sell equipment. When they say a filmmaker is coming in, you don't treat him like he's like he's somebody from some alien. When you are working and the police meet you, I know, with the prop guns, they don't consider you a criminal. And then if there are procedures, they can guide us so that we know how to apply and all of this. And very importantly, please, connect us with the National Security Advisor because of the use of drones. It's a big issue. You can't even fly with it now. So one excuse or the other, they will seize it at the airport, locally here. I beg you, sir. If you can do this for us, more feathers to your cap. Thank you.
Well, a lot has been said. Let's put it into action. That is, where I stand. And also to the MD, one thing, I don't want you, thank God you're one of us, so you're not going to be like the government people where they put policies and nobody knows about it. So one of the things that we're going to put in place is, as you're doing these policies, this new thing that happened, please let's create enough awareness so that people know. Because the more people are educated, are informed, they'll make better decisions. So all the new policies and things that changes that are happening, please let's have a way to send this information across the industry so that filmmakers know their rights and know what to demand for. Thank you.
I see this an opportunity for me to appreciate this government. As a filmmaker, as a key stakeholder in this industry, I have attended this Zuma festival, but I have plenty of take-homes, from it. Even before attending, knowing that a movie, May Martaba, is in the official selection for Oscars, and the vice president, agreeing to sit and look at our situation and putting up a committee to handle that makes this government responsive. But in this festival, I have heard from Baba Agba and from the MD what the government is contemplating, to do with the industry. It clearly shows that no matter how concerned or aggrieved we are as an industry, we are being well represented. I thank you, MD, for all the things you have said, during this period. And I want to encourage the government. This robust discussion that is happening between the industry and people that are policymakers should be deepened. We are trying to do, we are pretending that we are an industry, But the lack of structures to support an industry makes us bitter sometimes. And it is only through this back and forth that we'll come out of the woods. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much for the privilege. I want to just, without sounding like the spokesman for Netflix, I just want to add my voice to the conversation in the last 2 days. First, Netflix should be seen as a business. It's not a non-governmental organization, and it's a business of number. And the number says South Africa has 73.3%, Nigeria 10.5%. And from 2016 to 2022, Netflix spend in South Africa, Kenya, and Nigeria was about $175 million, out of which $32 million was spent in Nigeria. Trust me, if you dig down, you will see that this $32 million was spent amongst less than 10 producers. As a matter of fact, 6 in commissioning and all that. So, if we don't have the numbers, we should not argue with the people who have the numbers. And if the people who have the numbers say we want to begin to deal with content providers directly and not necessarily commissioning one job for too much, then let us not argue. The South African production, which had the budget, almost twice the budget of the whole of Nigeria between 2016 and 2022 was 51 cents. 51 cents, 1 cent was like $52 million. So it is that business. Then secondly, we appreciate the Vice President. He met with us close to an hour. He listened to us. A committee was to be set up. We haven't seen the committee yet. But again, we have heard from everywhere that we've been supported from the 680 million. I put it in record. Since we started this campaign, no one, anywhere, has given us a dime. If the dime comes tomorrow, trust me, I will tell you. Then finally, I will add my voice. Yes, Ali Serki has said he has another arrangement where all this will be facilitated. And I trust he will. We have already had that conversation. We started since days back, and we'll pull it through. Then I want to lend my voice to the campaign of NOSC. The campaign is that I think Nigerian filmmakers are misunderstanding the Oscar officials screening committee. So as they go around Nigeria sensitizing the people, I will beg that they call us along. We will volunteer.
Put in there, and those who put it there might have even died or left office. So these new Gen Z people should look at the bill again and see where it supports content creating at its level. Finally, we're on this move about co-productions, just like Dr. Serari said. Nigerians, let us co-produce among ourselves. Urobo and the Gala should make film. Benue and Hausa should make film. Igbo and Yoruba make film. We'll see that before you are looking for Jamaicans to make film with. You know, when I watched Wakanda Forever, at the end of the film, I got pissed because the lady, Leticia, didn't do much of what a Stephanie or a Kate Henshaw or whatever could have done. And that story is a totally African story. So there was no need going to bring somebody who will make millionaire. And that was one of the things we spoke at our meeting with the Screen Actors Guild of America. We need to. If you're making a film that you're supposed to pay a Denzel Washington $1 million, you pay him $1 million. But if it is a Stephanie that is playing that same role, you now say, you know, we don't have money for this film. This thing is global. If we do a film that will be shown globally, we should be allocating a fee according to the role, not according to who is playing it. All these things are film politics, and we need to put ourselves together to play all these politics to get it right. Thank you.
All right. Let me assure President Rollers that his own submission was a semi-final. I'm the final. Distinguished panelists, I would like to say that we sincerely appreciate your time and the input that you have brought into the conversation this morning through to the afternoon. On your behalf, please, can you appreciate my panelists, please? Thank you very much.
Just before you take your leave, may we request you have a group picture, please?
Yes,
The photographer, the MD, may wish to queue up. May I announce the arrival in our midst of the Senior Special Assistant to the Executive Governor of Plateau State on Creativity and Entertainment, Barrister Ezra Dinan. Sir, you're welcome, you're welcome. Thank you, please. You may wish to join us on this indelible moment, please. And to be getting ready is some pep talk from Canon. And I request the indulgence of the representative of Canon, Mr. John, to please, after this photo, you be on the restroom, or rather the platform, for your own submission, please. The event consultant is here. Mike Parrish. Thank you very much. Let's clap for them once again, please. May I call upon from Mr. John from Canon, as you make your own submission, please. Unofficially announcing the arrival of the Managing Director, CEO of Nigerian Film Corporation, Dr. Ali Nuhu, please. Let's clap for Mr. John as he step up. Sir, you're there on the restroom. Yeah, on the platform, yes. You may wish to be down the stage, please. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is John Obembe, and it's a very big honor for me to be here today. First of, as a person, not as a brand, I'm highly honored to stand amidst creative professionals, talking right before people that actually watch over the screen. So quickly, just to share Canon's take at this festival today. For majority of us that actually know Canon, definitely when they talk about Canon, 80-90% of us will talk about camera, knowing Canon for camera. But of course, Canon had been very, very instrumental and very, very supportive in the creative industry, especially in Nigeria, building capacities across creative professionals, supporting quite a number of people across product that we do. So just to give an input from our side, I know we've actually talked mainly about how supportive can brands be. As a brand, we have come a long way, and we still come with intention to support this industry. So just to name a few things that we have done and what we'll continue to do. We've been part of quite a number of film festivals from the Lagos, Enugu, and we are coming open to so many of the professionals that are here today. For those that probably want to create or do movies, please feel free to reach out to me or through Madam Alima, which is the Zuma Film Festival Director. We are willing to support. We are willing to stretch our hands to give as much support that we want to give in terms of equipment support and in terms of other support that we may want to talk about. So please, I am there. I would also share my contact, so not just to take so much of our time. For those that probably wants to collaborate with the brand, for the creative industry, the emerging creative industry, professionals in the industry that also wants to, groom their professionalism as a brand, we are here. I know equipment support has been one of the major challenges in the industry. I know funding has also been some major things that people talk about. Yeah, I'm not saying outrightly that Canon as a brand give out financial fund, but yeah, we've been quite big in a few names. I know Kunle Afolayan of Mokalik, Citation, Make Mation, a majority of so many upcoming filmmakers that we've actually done quite a number of things with. So we've invested a lot on this equipment. We've invested a lot on local talent. We've also partnered and collaborated with reputable after-sales service. This is to ensure that we also give value to the product that each and every one of us that actually invested on. I tell so many people that the effectiveness in the equipment that you use is not actually in how expensive that equipment is. Telling people that it's about the people behind the camera, not about the camera. Sometimes I tell people, what is the use of buying a Lamborghini when the path to your house is rough? So you make the best use of what you have. You make the best use of capacity that is right in front of you. And I can tell you that Canon as a brand has come to stay. Canon as a brand has come to support in our best way that we can. And please, 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 we are open to all your collaborative, all your proposals. And I can assure you that we look into this and give the support and extend it even to the younger filmmakers as much as we can. So thank you very much, and God bless.